That's right, this is our third and final election video, and today I'm going to talk to you about the importance of voting. You gotta vote. Immigration, healthcare, education, transportation, the military, the police, racism, LGBTQ rights, freedom of religion, the economy, Native American sovereignty, climate change, school lunches, COVID-19, and of course, taxes. Do you have an opinion on any of these? Of course you do. And that's why it is so important that we vote. So obviously right now, you can't vote. In fact, you can't vote for a few more years. But it's so important that you start to think about these issues and make sure that your family and friends and all your loved ones vote. Why? I'll tell you why. Let's do a history lesson on the right to vote. 1789, the U.S. Constitution gives people the right to vote. Hooray, freedom, everything is equal. No, you're wrong. Absolutely not. States limited voting rights to land-owning, tax-paying white males. In other words, these are rich people. Only 6% of the actual population was able to vote. 1856, that property tax requirement is finally taken out of the equation. Now all white males are able to vote. But still, that's not even close to the total amount of population that was living in America. 1870, turning point in U.S. history and in voting rights overall in the entire world with the abolition of slavery and the 14th and 15th Amendment. 14th Amendment gives everyone born in the United States and naturalized citizenship, and the 15th makes it so that all of those citizens can vote. Big turning point. The issue is that even though this amendment was in place, racist laws like the Jim Crow laws in the South, poll taxes, literacy tests, grandfather clauses, and other racist practices limited the amount of people that could vote. 1920, another big turning point in U.S. and voting rights history with the signing of the 19th Amendment, which grants women the right to vote. Unfortunately, that did not mean all women. Only white women were able to vote with the signing of the 19th Amendment. Now that changed in 1924 when Native Americans were granted citizenship and therefore the right to vote. But it wasn't until 1948 that all the states in the United States granted that right to all indigenous people. We keep going with 1965. This is a monumental turning point in U.S. history with the Voting Rights Act. This protects all people's rights to vote, including getting rid of literacy tests, poll taxes, grandfather clauses, and all of those other racist Jim Crow laws that limited minorities from voting. Then finally, 1971, the voting age is lowered from 21 to 18. That's right, 200 years marching, protesting, lobbying, legislating, fighting in every which way possible to give you and your family and your friends and everybody else that's over the age of 18 in the United States the right to vote. And now everybody can vote and everybody does vote, and our democracy is awesome. No, you're wrong again. We still have tens of millions of people in the United States that don't vote. In 2016, 65 million people voted for Hillary Clinton and 62 million people voted for Donald Trump. But 100 million people didn't even vote. And those are only the people that were registered to vote. There's an estimate that 20% of the United States isn't even registered to vote. They don't even know what's going on. And the problem is that when it comes to voting, younger people don't do it. In 2016, only 54% of millennials that were eligible to vote did. Come to think of it, I'm a millennial. Gross. So even though my generation, the millennials, completely failed last election, you aren't going to do that. You're part of a generation called Gen Z, or Zillennials, which is a really weird name. You're the most diverse and well-educated generation in American history, and all of the issues that people are voting on in November, well, they affect you, and they will affect you for the rest of your lives. That's why it's super important that you encourage your family, friends, and everybody else who can vote that you know to get out and vote, especially the millennials. Up on the screen now, I have all of the early dates that people can go to vote, which actually starts on October the 24th and goes all the way till Sunday, November the 1st. You can vote at the Cattaraugus County Board of Elections, or you can vote on the JCC campus in Olean. Your county makes it super easy to vote early. Besides that, you can vote by mail. You can drop off your mail-in ballot in a ballot box, or you can just go in person on November 3rd, which is Election Day. It's so easy. Please let me tell you, voting is so cool. I've been doing it now for 12 years, and I'm like super good at it. I love voting. I can talk to you about the first time I voted, and it was awesome. And this time when I vote, it's going to be awesome again. Voting is so cool. Take it from this really lame teacher that's talking right now. But still, really, just get people to vote. This election will probably be a turning point in American history. So not only do we need to know the issues and know how the system works, we also need to get as many people voting as possible. So, I hope you learned a lot from these videos, and I hope you go home and tell your parents and your family and your friends and your loved one and anybody else that you meet on the street that's over 18 to get out and vote, because it's the American thing to do. Thanks for watching. Vote because all the cool people do it. Vote. This is a Zoran the Panther production.